She's a New York Times best-selling author, a Peabody Award-winning producer and journalist who has reported from war zones. But perhaps her most courageous work is being on The Real Housewives of New York City. And also subscribe to her Substack. Please welcome one and only Carole Radziwill! I went to the website. I went to CaroleRadziwill.com. Here you go. Thank you for being here. Is her mic on?
Hello?
It's on. Here we go.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Carole, thank you so much for being here tonight.
I just want to say that the F slur in the 70s, everyone was saying.
Yeah.
I probably said it as a 6-year-old.
Well, yeah.
You gotta keep track.
It was okay to smoke while you're pregnant, too. It was okay to do a lot. I mean, what a romantic time.
Taking thalidomide to ease their morning sickness.
I would go back to the 70s. Speaking of going back, I want to go back to the 90s. In particular, this documentary that you were a big part of, a three-part CNN documentary called American Prince, JFK Jr. I loved...
How many parts was it?
It was 3 parts.
Wow.
It was good. I watched all 3 and I loved it. And I loved hearing you talk about your husband Anthony and your friendship with John and Carolyn, but I loved hearing about George, John's magazine. And basically John wanted people to be on a first-name basis with politicians, and he wanted, I love this line, he wanted politics to appeal to not just people on the coast, but, middle of the country. He understood the meddling of politics and entertainment. As someone who hosts an entertainment political show, I felt so seen. So my first question is, would John like me? Do you think he would? I think, would you like me, right?
No, I feel like you probably would be writing for George. Yeah.
Oh, I kind of did think about that watch. I was like, would I be like working for John right now? Like
I feel like you'd have a column.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, you'd have a column.
Well, the fact he was edgy, like asking what she said no, Madonna to be his mother on the cover, like he would go, like he was thinking of.
Did he ask?
In the documentary,
yeah.
he did.
Yes,
Yeah.
He did. He was very willing to cross boundaries.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of that, I love that the documentary really showed how George coincided with Bill Clinton's election and the really changing of culture. But John seeing something that people were not seeing with politics and pop culture and so my question is, do you think if more people saw politics the way John did, that we would be in a better,
What's in that?
That's martini, gin. I haven't sipped yet. Do you think if more people saw politics or understood?
First of all, this is my bad side.
Oh, do you want to sit here?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, that's so funny. This is my good side. I don't know why I sit here because I used to sit here because I think my producer would sit and I had to see her, but this is better too. Yeah. And you get AOC and I get Hillary.
Yeah.
It's great.
Sorry, guys.
Do you think if more people saw politics the way John did, that we would be in a better place today? Like, would he have taken Trump seriously when no one else did?
Oh God, that's so hard to know. Probably he would.
Yeah.
It's so hard to know because if he were here, Trump wouldn't be president.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I love that. Oh God, I love alternative timelines, guys. I live in those.
We're living in the worst timeline.
We are. Wait, and then you said something that was really interesting in the documentary that that his mother's death kind of emancipated him in a way to pursue George.
Mm-hmm.
So did John ever feel tied to the legacy of American history while clearly understanding the evolving nature of politics and culture? Like, do you ever feel torn between 2 worlds?
I mean, I don't think of John as being torn,
Right.
because he was so well grounded in the history and the myth of his family, but also he had a vision for what he wanted his life to be.
Yeah.
So I don't think of it as he was torn between the 2. I think he very elegantly wove the 2 parts of his life and his past and his family's past with his president and what he wanted to do in his life and make a mark on his own.
Yeah.
He probably would have gone into politics eventually anyway, but this is something that he was really, really passionate about. And I think in so many ways, George was so ahead of its time.
Oh my God, 100%. was so ahead of time. The way we talk about politics now, the way influencers, content creators, the way I talk about politics, mixing with Real Housewives, all of that. It's like literally, I do the dumbest
You
with
would
us.
have loved the Real Housewives.
Oh, you would have?
Yeah, yeah. But,
Yeah.
but like the mix.
The mix, right? Yeah. Again, so John and I would have really gotten along. You take anything about the interview, it's that. I loved hearing you talk about Carolyn, how you both were outsiders to the family and found each other from humble beginnings, and how she'd fill up a room and she was so dynamic, and how involved she was with George. Like, how didn't he, like, she demanded, like, when he was gonna interview Castro, she was calling and being like, demand that interview. Like,
yeah, she was very strong, opinionated,
Yeah.
and really he trusted her as because she would really tell him, you know, exactly the right thing.
No,
like she wasn't sugarcoating. And I think to be John, like there were so many people around him that, even well-meaning people that, you know, it was still John Kennedy, so they were like, you know, they weren't gonna. She was more like,
yeah,
excuse me,
right.
You get back down there and you don't leave until he shows up. Like she was.
I love it. The 6 foot tall blonde, just not afraid. And so, what my question is?
Exactly 6 feet, but
Was
she
she
loved that the media called her.
Oh really?
She was like 5'10".
Okay, well, that's great. You know, so what's happened recently is a lot of young girls are being inspired by her look. But what should they really be inspired by her?
Yeah.
Like, what should they take from Carolyn?
You know, the thing about Carolyn is she worked in fashion and she was very good at her job, and she also had an innate style, but she was also beautiful, much more than the pictures really show. Like, if you walked into a room, everyone noticed her. There was just she had an aura. So she looked good in everything she wore, but if you really look at what she wore, it was pretty basic. She wasn't trying to reinvent anything.
Right.
So for 30 years later, for all these West Village girls to be bopping around cosplaying Carolyn in their minimalist,
like either chic, but Carolyn's like, I just threw this on.
She would be bemused perhaps, but I don't think that's really the takeaway.
Right.
She was a woman very young. You know, she died when she was 33. So who really, more than any other girl I had known before, or even since, she really knew her value and her worth, and she did not compromise, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, to be a strong woman, especially in the 90s, it was crazy in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, we were the first generation of young women going into the workforce, like corporate America, en masse. Like, so it was rough, you know, all the men in all these corporations, like, I think now back then they were like, oh good, they didn't have to go to happy hour anymore because we were right down the hall.
Wow.
It was wild.
Yeah.
There was no HR, there was nothing. But she navigated that, and she was just a very strong, confident woman, and I think that's the kind of the bigger takeaway. Yes, she wore 517 Levi's and slight boot cut and a white button-down shirt, but
yeah, no, actually that's exactly what I wanted to ask from you, because I think she seemed like such another person I would hopefully she would have liked me as well. I just feel like I would have.
She would have liked.
I would have stand her.
She would have liked you. Some of the housewives recently asked me, "Do you think she would have liked me?" I was like, no. I don't be offended, but no.
That's why we love you, Carol. Speaking of which, because you are the voice of reason, and that's the name of your Substack as well.
Yeah.
And I love your Substack, and obviously you're writing on there, and you're writing What Remains, your best-selling book, which is re-entered the charts.
Look at you have all the...
Yeah, Carol, I work hard, Carol. I'm a professional. I did the New York Times profile.
Oh, I love Mousy.
Her cat?
My cat.
What do you think is happening right now in culture, why your story is really hitting the zeitgeist?
I know. I don't know, it's been a really strange year for me, because not only going back on Ronnie, I started to film the same week that Love Story dropped. So it was just like I didn't watch the show, and I thought, I'm not gonna watch it. It'll be fine, but you just couldn't get away from it. Like I couldn't like open my phone. it was everywhere. And then, of course, filming, they were talking about it on the show, and it really was like, I would say it wasn't like a walk down memory lane in a good way.
Right,
it was very traumatizing.
Well, it's forced upon you.
Yes, and then, and my husband was the character, which was insane.
To be honest, when I watched the show, and I'm not just saying this like because I know you, I was I was angry and sad during some of those scenes with depicting Anthony. I did not know him. I just felt like, because I'm an aspiring writer. I understand writing TV shows, but there were a couple moments I was like, ooh, what is the point of this? What's the point of this show?
And I'll tell you a little secret. It's not that secret, but the person who played Anthony, I knew, I was friends with, and we actually had a few dates back in 2021, and so that was really weird.
Yeah, that's strange
to do that. And then my husband was fit. I mean, Eric showed up on set looking pudgy.
And that's
to the gym.
You hear that? That's what. If you're gonna do it, at least be as hot as he was.
Yeah, he was like. I was like, whoa.
He was so handsome. Yeah, I agree.
He was handsome. He was like ripped.
And she knows. She would know.
I also dated another Anthony.
That's my middle name too.
No, like someone else who auditioned. You didn't.
For that. Oh, what? You mean another person auditioned for the show?
Yeah. Yes. We matched on Raya.
Oh. And you actually went on a date from Raya?
Yes. And then
I never get a date from
halfway
Raya.
through the date, he was like, Radziwill. And then he's like, oh my God, I know that name. I'm like, how?
No.
So I auditioned to play her late husband. Yeah. I used to have a type.
Yeah. Wait, so next book, this has to be a part, and this is very funny.
I'll write a Substack.
You write a Substack. To subscribe.
Anthony's.
So